We are going to do some ranked M20 drafting, best of one. I'm going to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom, before we jump in. Card Kingdom, that is. CardKingdom.com is where you can go and get an amazing selection of everything you need for Magic, from singles to sealed product to supplies. If you want to pay for that via store credit, you can sell them your cards back and click the 30% bonus store credit button choice and get some store credit with them, so you can pay for all that stuff, keep the circle of life going, as Marsha always likes to say. And we are going to jump in here though and not spend any money at Card Kingdom, because we're on Arena free to play. Free to play since Hey Fiddles, thank you for the gift sub. Mama in the house, how you doing, Mama? Yeah, there's no reason to not to open your vault if you're using Tracker to understand the progress. T-Row asked the difference between paid and free-to-play. Just the accounts we're using. I play on 2 accounts. I like to play on this account as our primary concern. This is our free-to-play account where we are limited players looking to get as much limited as we can for free out of Arena and seeing how much play we can get. Our goal is 5 drafts a week. We've been beating that pretty handily, although we don't literally draft 5 drafts a week, because when sealed crops up as the only format, we switch to paid because sealed is such a gem consumer. So like we drafted twice Wednesday, I think, for example, though, so we'll pepper in some extra drafts for the old free-to-play account here. But yeah, let's try and convert gold to gems. Love it. Great start. We're going to take that for sure. But I also want to get some audio here, and I'll switch my view. Had Gargos early on in a sealed. Haven't really seen Gargos since, but Gargos is a bit on the nuts side. It works whether you target your stuff with Giant Growth or Rabid Bite type effects. Rabid Bite is a punch and then a fight, you know? And we've ended up playing a little bit of the uncommon, the growth, Season of Growth enchantment. If we get Season of Growth, we may just move in and go Gargos Growth. It's Gargos season. So, yeah, target, right, befuddle, like there's any number of things you can do to trigger this. James went 1 and 3. We're going to try to do a little better than that. Probably just stick to the Bront here. Nice solid follow-up to a triple green bomb as a double green power-packed stat monster. Fenlurker is great. Winged Words is great. I like anything in the Teamer lands because it allows you to potentially do Teamer elementals. But pretty easy thrashing Brontodon here. Hey, Blackmore. Raptor. Yeah, I didn't really say hello to everybody. I feel like I missed out on kind of my hellos yesterday and today, so sorry about that. But hello to all. We're drafting now, so I'm going to keep pushing it. But it matters to me that you're here, and I thank you. Howling Giant is going to be our pick. We're pretty top heavy here, but it just sets us up to prioritize ramp a little more than we normally would. Maybe we'll wheel a pulse. Newbie Master asks, how in the world can you do 5 drafts a week on free-to-play? I save up for months and can only do like 10 an entire set duration. A lot depends on your win percentage and optimizing your approach to grinding. You need to be grinding every day. I at least get my 4 wins a day on this account, and I always spin my quests. I don't know if we've talked about that in a while. I'll jump out real quick to point out that when you have a 500, every day you should make sure I've already done it, so nothing's happening since I'm clicking. But if we hadn't spun yet, we could click here and swap this for a new quest. And sometimes that new quest is 750 gold. And so that is a way to get some extra gold out of the system. But ultimately, it comes down to grinding and win rate. Grinding and win rate is what we do. We win at a rate. We've been winning at a 66% clip at M20 so far, which is probably not sustainable for me. My my lifetime average on Arena here is in the 60-62% range, so we'll probably regress back towards that. But it significantly above 50% win rate really helps. Yeah, traditional draft. If your main concern is the number of drafts per day, then you're going to want to stick to ranked draft that costs half as much to enter. MC4 is happening right now. It's the Mythic Championship. So I'm streaming up against one of the biggest Magic events of the year. You know, one of 4 such events basically, and there's some other reasonable big events though. We can take just a Thicket Crasher here and just stay green. I mean, I don't see what we'd be bailing on it for other than God's willing, and I'm not bailing towards white, right? A lot of open white here, but none of it's amazing. I don't really love any of it, full stop. So yeah, easy Crasher. Brightwood Tracker keeps us on color, so does Overcome if we wanted to do that. We could pick up a Skeleton and hedge towards green-black Value Town, and you know, that's where I do like to play my 6 and 7 drops, is in a go-long kind of green deck. We don't have much, don't want to lose to the air though, we got to keep an eye on that. Brightwood Tracker is a playable green card, but we only ever really want one, like 0 to 1 is how many I want in my main deck. We could start down an unservant path, undead servant path again. But I think it's Tracker Overcome. I think it's Overcome or Skeleton. Sorry, I don't think it's Tracker over. I think it's Overcome or Skeleton. But you know, we passed on an Overcome yesterday, feeling like we don't need it, and then suddenly it was exactly what we needed to win with, and then we didn't have it. I'm going to actually take the Overcome. I want that in the pocket right now. We might not even play it. We might not end up being this deck. But I do like having one of these in my pile, actually. Because green can go quite wide. And we're going to take a Growth Cycle here. Or we can take a Blade Brand. Blade Brand I like even better than Growth Cycle. But obviously Growth Cycle continues on the only green path that we're on here. So I'll take a Bone to Ash. And look to make blue our second color. Yeah, Blade Brand with Gargos is pretty sweet. There are no powerful cards in the other colors. Why not stick with green? Because Growth Cycle is super replaceable. It's not that good. It does play with Gargos. I was talking about that, but so does Blade Brand. And it's quite a bit better, I think, than Growth Cycle. Growth Cycles do stack well. But yeah, this keeps us in green. But that's the theory. These are both better than Growth Cycle is the bottom line. But we could make the argument to stay green. But yeah, I'm gonna take a Blade Brand. I think we could end up there. There's another Bone to Ash tempting me to test the waters in blue, but it's not that strong, so we'll just take another green. We'll take the Tracker here. Cutthroat is playable in black. Dragonfire, you don't really want to play when you've got black because you got such better removal. One page wants the Soldier. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to lean white. I'm off green white. Off it. Let's see what we're doing here. I'm going to take Vial. We may end up blue, and we may end up with the Weaponsmith. But here's another Blade Brand opportunity. All the Bone to Ash is going around. White has been decently open, as usual, but I have no regrets. Might be the bots. Certainly if you can close out enough of, like, if only one other bot is in green, it becomes pretty easy to do. Assault is splashable, but I don't think, I would rather just take a second Blade Brand with the Gargos plan. Plummet, we are best of one. We have a Howling Giant. Black-green tends to be pretty vulnerable to flyers without a bunch of spiders, so we could consider a main deck plummet just to shore up a big weakness. They did say they made an update to the bots. Whether it's a quality update or not is up to us to decide, I suppose. Yeah, Sorcerer's no big deal. Let's take the plummet. Yeah, and we don't even know we're black. We certainly know we're green. And I guess... actually, among all these, like, maybe the gift is better if we ended up... if we were just forced into green-white. Gift for flying green monsters might be the best card here for that. So yeah, we'll do the same philosophy here. I don't think gift both makes flying monsters and triggers Gargos. So there's that. So does Moment of Heroism. Although Inspired Charge tends to be the better card if you do end up white, so I'll take the charge. Yeah, these picks are not great, huh? Help! Don't make me do it! I don't want to do it! I don't wanna, but there's nothing else here. Like, there's nothing else here. Overgrowth Elemental? We're not there yet. That was gems. That was gems. I will leave it in the main deck, but I still don't feel like we are white, per se, just because of what we have here. Troll is really nice, but so is a 7-drop removal spell. So is Murder. We could just take Murder. We got the Blade Brand. Yeah, I kind of want to snap up this pack, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards I'd be happy with. Maybe that's not a huge amount. There's also gems. We could take gems. Let's take Murder and see if that's a sign towards being able to settle in black. Here's that Season of Growth. Ah, here's that Air Elemental. I was eyeing blue, trying to figure out how to get into blue. Season is very on plan. I think we're cutting the white. And we'll probably wheel the Season. I think if we took any, we could take like the Skeleton and wheel the Season. But frankly, we can probably take the Season and wheel the Skeleton, so it doesn't really matter. So let's take the Season and see if we can build a real plan around it. Siphon is a fine pickup here. Well, I don't think Season is like some... I don't think this is one of those cards that we're like, why don't the bots take this, right? This is great. This is great. All right, coming up Millhouse now. Not in green, which is weird. I mean, we cut green hard and we're not seeing any. Another Vile Portal for nonsense if we splash blue. Like Gravedigger Portal is good. What else do we have that would... Gravedigger Howling, or Portal Howling Giant is a little much. Nothing else really ETBing here, though. Yeah, we get hedged towards Portal. We're not missing much. Sentinel, sideboardish card, and another Vial that we're probably questionable whether we play the first one. I mean, you can make the argument that it's a hedge and it's a Vault Progress at least. I don't think any of those cards mattered, and unfortunately, we're not in sideboard land, so things like Veil of Summer don't matter either. We could take Prismite, but I think we can safely take Vault Progress here. We've got a lot of playables. I'm not ever playing that enchantment. It's too much setup cost to be worth it, I think. Ferocious Pup, though, is decent addition here with our overcome backdoor plan. Don't know if we're playing overcome yet, but pups are like the one reason to do so. Growth cycle. And we did indeed wheel the skeleton. And we can throw this in the board for now, and main deck it if we are desperate for playables. Same with this guy. Hopefully we don't play the Abomination, but we might. It's kind of how I felt about it in Dominaria. I hoped not to play it. If I wasn't playing this in Dominaria, then it meant my deck was really good, and if I had to, it was alright. You would sometimes. Yeah, spiders would be nice here. Well, we were talking about how Drakuseth could make it around 4th, and it starts with people like me passing it, or we take it for gems. There's not really anything else here. Actually, yeah, maybe we just take it for gems. I'm not playing a second tracker. We'll wheel the key. Maybe we splash the wing words, but we're not in the Undead Servant plan. So this is about the worst pack you could have. We're a green-black deck, and we got only one black card and only one green card, and both of them will wheel. So yeah, take the dragon, put it on the board. I keep forgetting to check my owned count, though, and see if we have anything to go and craft. We do have, what's our situation? We have one rare to craft. Well, we talked about needing a spider, but we have a Barkhide Troll and a Shaman, which seem better than spider in the abstract, but maybe not better for what our deck needs. And we can look at curve here to decide. Probably Barkhide on curve concerns. Although we don't really have 5, so we could take that Gorilla Shaman safely. And our 2s are pretty weak. We don't want to play this one if we can help it. And everything, we would play Vial on 2. But really, there's nothing here we would play on 2. So I think we need to take the Troll. Because we don't really, even though it's thick at 2, we're not actually doing anything on 2. So I'm gonna pull the Troll here. Sorry, Spider. Maybe the Spider will come back. I really do want spiders, but I'm gonna take Murder over the Siphon or any of this other stuff. We hope to wheel maybe a pup. How many Veils have there been? My God. Like, imagine if this were some power uncommon. I think we... although they'd just be picked by their bots, but man, the number of Veils going through this through this draft. Is it ever hammer time? Do we have? I mean, it's only hammer time if you're playing like a couple of the ramp auras. You have no win condition and some trample. So yeah, we're gonna take another 2-drop and be a little bit sad because it's always. This is not great. This, I think I like over the Evolving Wilds because of our desire to ramp to this stuff. Well, not to this as much, but definitely to these two. Take Gift and see if we can wheel this Invocation. Nice. I'm going to take another Brontodon over a Blood Burglar. Here's a Pulse we could pick up. Buy some time, make it to our late game. A Bond that's probably not going to make the cut. We could Diamond Knight, but I've never been too happy with that card. Might be good enough just because of where we're at. Here's our beautiful first pack with the Undead Servant. We can take Manifold Key as a win condition. If we don't think we have enough of a win condition. We're certainly not taking the Servant, so we'll take the key and remember it's there. Decide if that's something we consider playable given our circumstance. Pup or another Bond. Remembering that Bond triggers Season of Growth and Gargos, but a second pup supports the Overcome. I think I don't want double bond, so we'll take the pup. Even though bond is synergistic with some of the stuff we're doing. We have one plummet that we might play. I'm really reticent to play two, so we'll take the hammer for vault progress. It is hammer time. Do, 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 do. Get in. The board can't touch that. I gave you a freestyle live meme. Shut up. Let's see. Yeah, thinking about crafts before I head out. I think we might have some Gargos. Maybe not. I don't think actually. Well, only if we've opened. Because I think we got Gargos and sealed early on the other account, and we took. So we have Gargos and Sephara and Drakuseth. So let's go check those out. Do you take any other rares? Funny, we got three of the 5 cards from the triple cycle. All right. You have to help me remember their names. Maybe I should do it this way. Here, we'll go. Oh, I remember Let's see. Remember Garg. No. I must not have any of those. Yeah, none of those. Drac. Only one Drac. And what was the angel named? Sephara. Thank you. Seph. Only one Seph, so we're not going to do any crafting now. We don't have enough of those for our single rare wild card to do anything. Okay. Now we get to make some cuts. Let's take a look at our numbers first, of course. 14-14. Looks like we got a lot of room to give at the spell slot. Less so at the creature slot, but we don't need to play garbage, although these are a little above garbage. I don't mind filling out the curve here. What are our least impressive spells? I think I actually do need to cut some creatures. I don't particularly want to play that... yeah, play the Vial or the big guy. I think we cut the plummet. I'm going to keep the growth cycle for Gargos and season interactions. Well, we have 13 creatures currently and 2 pups. We can cut the Overcome. I said we didn't know if we were going to play it, but I wanted to pick it up when we did in case we were clearly an Overcome deck. But we don't go that wide. We could just bail on that. Is white weak enough that you take Risen Reef over the White Cavalier pack 1 pick 1? Yeah, I think I would. The White Cavalier is like the worst Cavalier, and Risen Reef has generally a bigger impact on your winning and losing of a game than a Cavalier does, I think. And it's kind of the colors you want to be in, so it kind of flies in the face of a lot of conventional wisdom generically about Magic drafting, but in this set in particular, I would do that. J Watt wants to cut the Sentinel. Really nervous about cutting any more low drops, but maybe you're right. It's not doing much, is it? We kind of start on 3, but it's okay. We're trying to ramp up to here and win up at this end. So, are we too light on win conditions? I think we're just kind of counting on our value to get there. It's like we don't have any obvious, oh, we're going to do an inspired charge or an overcome or whatever. It's just that we are going to murder and grave dig and fight and all that stuff. Get our Gargos back. I'm not going to cut the bond because it triggers both Season of Growth and Gargos. It's not great, but we can play one in the context of having such incredible synergy. We did take the key. We could play the key. But I don't want to. I think we actually are okay. Like I can answer how do we win? Because we win the attrition battle and then our bigger stuff takes over. That's a good question. Pup becomes almost a liability if we're not taking advantage of the go wideness of it. We could cut a pup for a vampire or two. You think vampire or pup is better here? If we cut pups, yeah, oops, we're down pretty low on creatures now. 12. You guys want the hammer? I really don't want the hammer. What are we putting it on? What are you putting it on that even makes you happy? A thicket crasher. One thing. What's the other thing you're happy with putting it on? You know, some people are into the hammer, you know? Maybe we can split them and see. 3 power versus 2 is nothing. Really changes the spectrum of things it can trade with. I kind of think it should be Barony Vampires. Even as bad as just a generic 3-2 for nothing, 3-2 with no extra text is. Cut pup for what, Siratemi? The second vampire or something like the manifold key as a win condition, or put overcome back in. You know me, Vaporkin. We got to get the deck right. We're close though. We're gonna be playing very soon. You want the Sentinel in over pup? All right. So like that. Well, either we're doing pups with overcome or it's not really an overcome deck. I think we're going to try this. Let's try not overcome for now, and we can switch back if we think this is underperforming or we get new information. Gargle. Gargle for gems. Let's try this. We can take a little long on deck building here, but man, those final few slots in a deck are pretty important and worth talking about, I think. Hammer on the Sentinel is a nice thing to imagine having happened in your head. I just don't think it happens in game enough for me to want to play the hammer. All right, let's go in. Thank you, Mama. That's what I was hoping, Press, that maybe if we started streaming this morning as people wound up from MC4, they would see that we're here available to hang out with and play with. Looks like I'm not alone in that. Some of my other regular streaming buddies are up and about. Well, this kind of stinks. Oppo's going first, though. If we get black, this hand is okay. If we don't, this hand is a disaster. Maybe a narrow mull. I think in the London world we're going to mulligan this, and in the Paris world I think we keep, but London makes me want to mull this. So here we go. Growth, Blade Brand, Creatures. We're kind of there. We just have to cut something. We're going to keep this. And we could get real risky and cut a swamp here. You want to throw back the Vampire? We do have Season of Growth into Greenwood Sentinel. And our opponent is going first. I think we will be able to find land in time, and we don't have anything expensive in hand. Yeah, I'm going to cut the swamp. Our hand is still basically on, even with the swamp down. Thank you. Scene reminder. Look, we got it right back. First game. Got my breakfast biscuits. Blueberry breakfast biscuit. These feel like government-issued sustenance. No kidding. Well, a problem already. Let's see. Well, no sorceries to throw back at us yet. We're going to get 2 scries here. So I want to play Skeleton and Sentinel. We can play just the Skeleton and look to Blade Brand the Embercat. Vampire is a pretty bad card, Vaporkin. You were there for deck building, though, right? You tell me what should be in instead, and we can consider it. But we really didn't have a lot of options and needed to fill the curve. Yeah, these Belvita... No, these are Nature Valley. Well, definitely Skeleton. So let's start there. And then we have to decide whether we're keeping Skeleton back. Ooh, Barkhide Troll. We can't cast you right now, unfortunately, so you're going away, buddy. Play this. Yeah, Oppo could have Shock. Are they pausing? Let's do this then. Yeah, their pause is suggestive of Shock. That's a good call. And ooh, we can actually keep the Bond. We have the Season of Growth that's going to turn it into a cantrip. We don't have the land yet, but I'm actually going to keep it. We've got our Season of Growth, and these are the these get way better when you have Season of Growth. So probably a shocked Sentinel here. No, are they? Maybe they decided it was not powerful enough to warrant the shock, or maybe we're misreading what the pause was. Certainly felt like there was a pause there with 1 red mana up. The cat was summoning sick. Yeah, it could be Infuriate. Good call. Thank you. Turbo Banana gets a cookie. Great. So they used all that up to do that. Maybe they're looking to re-bite. Makes some sense. You got Chandra. If they want to do that now, that's fine too.
We can do this together.
I'm going to Vampire. We're going to try and make them use, let's see, there's no, this is just recasting stuff. So they get to recast Rabid Bite, and that's going to give them the vampire, but we're going to do that. That's fine. Got to keep wearing them out here, I suppose. We will take Chandra down a peg, though. So let's see. Let's get it land on top. Ooh, Pulse. Pulse also would be nice, but we're just not there right now.
What the heck?
Expecting to get bitten here. Little vampire vengeance. Or not, or not. Looks like they're waiting, maybe? What are they doing? Gonna add elementals then? Nope, just making Chandra loyal. All right.
Help.
So they're tapped out except for the Ember Cat, and I don't think we have to worry about anything. The question is whether we want to Blade Brand, or we could also, if we bond an attack, bond the skeleton and attack. They don't really have great. It's not useless filler, Vaporkin. Look what it's doing right now. I think we're so used to rules text that does something on these, it can be really offensive to feel like playing a 3-2 for 3. But Vaporkin, you gotta go to battle with the army you have, not the one you want. And our army had Barony Vampires or Pups for the 3-drop slot. So if you don't like the Vampire, you're talking about playing Pups right now. And a Pup is even worse in this situation. Oh, maybe not worse. It is a little worse because there's only 3 damages or 2 damages as opposed to 3. But a C- level card like Barony Vampire, maybe even D+ if you want to be really harsh, is still fine. I see the fuse. We got it. We're gonna go here. I don't like auraing up a skeleton in general, but I did want to split my power between these 2 cards so that they can both attack. Sorry. You're right to have a heart attack since it's so in my range to time out there. Yeah, we'll keep that. I can go straight to Chandra. And they very well may trade for the skeleton here, but I'm fine with that.
Keep it up and you'll pay.
Really, I really want to be able to pressure Chandra, and that seemed like the best way to do it. All right. I seem way early, Oppo, but that's just been happening a lot. I don't know why nobody wants to play out their games. Feel like a good 2% of my win percentage is just people scooping way before they should. We're in gold, I think, right? Yeah, I never really make it past gold with the way I play Arena. Win's a win indeed. That's right. They're just scared of going optimal. Yes, sometimes scooping is life happening, but sometimes it feels like that's happening more than you would expect. Reset Press says, top 1,000 get into MC qualifier. Would you ever consider devoting a month to that? Maybe. I just don't know if I have the time. Like, before I committed a month to that, I would have to understand how many, what kind of win rate I would need. I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of play. It would mean, basically it would mean putting the free-to-play account on hold for a month and trying to rank up the paid account. because I don't think I could do it from free to play. I think I'd run out of funds. Yeah, I don't think I'm 66% though. I think I'm 66% early in M20, but I don't think I should count on that as being my actual win rate. All right, we'll keep this, and I'm going to wait on the skeleton until after we have season out because we need to use the season to find more lands. Vaporkin Barony Vampire is 1-0. I know what you mean, though, man. I do not enjoy playing a vampire useless, you know, an unimportant creature type 3/2 for 3. But here we are. I wouldn't call myself a Motley Crue fan, no, but if you played their greatest hits, I'd probably sing along happily, you know what I mean? Like, at least to the choruses. They're one of those bands whose personal style is a little offensive to me. Just kind of the dripping misogyny of 80s butt rock is just like, I can't handle it. Hey, Tupperware. Lord Tupperware has sent some folks to us to draft alongside. Thanks, Tupperware. And welcome, Tupperware viewers. We opened on a Gargos in this draft and decided to try and make that whole strategy work. We found one Season of Growth, which obviously is kind of the same trigger as Gargos, so that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, our low end is pretty low. We're resorting to things like Barony Vampire. But hopefully we play this and find a forest we can leave right on top. That's the ideal. No, and we're left with a disfigure that we sadly have to put to the bottom because we are just searching for lands here. Oh yeah, thank you. Update the record. I started to do that, then failed. We are 1-0. Also, for Tupperware viewers who've not been here before, we are on our free-to-play account. We play on 2 accounts on this stream. And our primary account is this one, the Going Optimal Free-to-Play, where we have only spent $5 and we draft about 5 times a week. And here, might have to Blade Brand for no value on the skeleton just to get a draw trigger. We really want to play a land this turn if we can. So it's pretty sad, but we get to draw twice. If they don't, like, kill it in response. Even if they kill it in response, we get the 1, so I'm going to do it. It's really nerve-wracking to throw into open mana like this, but this is a cast trigger, not a resolution trigger, so we get the 1 no matter what. I also just should have let it hit. There was no need to even risk it in mid-combat, but we did get our land, so that's cool. I wonder if they would block, given the Season of Growth. It's a pretty free attack, I think. I'm going to risk it. I don't think they're going to block. And if they do, we get the skeleton back later anyway. I think it's a free point. How do you put your raptor in front of the Season of Growth's players 1-2? Oh, looks like they're going to do it. All right, I tipped the cap. Oppo, you figured it out. I mean, the other thing you can do is reverse engineer what I'm doing here. Ooh. Like this thing, even if you reverse engineer it and say, gosh, it's like 95% that he's just bluffing a point here. It's a pretty high risk play because you may just get burned by that, but that's all right. And now we're going to go gift over Brontodon so we make sure we're getting our mana going. Cavalier is problematic. We're going to need to get Gargos down and fight it, but then it, like, gets shuffled into the library, so that's kind of annoying. Ooh, what's really going to be annoying is hearing the rushing waves for the rest of this match. Oh, thank God. It stopped. It stopped, everybody. Brian Kellison with a bluff observation. There's a lot of ways you can bluff in Arena, and Brian called out one of them, which is to actually mouse over your hand as though you're going to combat trick if they attack. Our long national nightmare, unfortunately, is not over, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Let's see, what's our plan to not die? I guess we're going Gargos into Wolfkin Bond to try and take out the Gales before we die. We could take Agonizing Siphon. I guess we just drop the Brontodon here and set up looking for land. All right, we'll take that. We need Gargos to land and survive, but then if it does, we have a plan. Siphon is going to get us some life back, probably taking out the Raptor at some point. Or we could gain 3 and draw a card by targeting our Brontodon. Oh, I don't know. You all tell me. Sorry, if there's a mismatch on my audio, I can adjust it. Fiddles helped me figure that out, but it's not something I can sense. It's something you guys have to tell me. So if audio is out of sync, I can fix it. If game audio is out of sync with the game actions, so I haven't changed it. So maybe I just need that. I guess. No, I still have the offset on. So apparently, I guess I need it. All right. Well. That made things a lot worse, and we are really up against it now. Let's see. We play Gargos, and we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the air and go to 3. Then we have to die? I think we're just dead. Yeah, I can sack a... That's a good point. We can sack a Brontodon to kill a Raptor, which we probably have to do now. Like, maybe we even go... what if we go... Kill Raptor, take 7, go to 7, and then we're still behind on that. We definitely attack first, just trying to figure out how we can win from here. It's looking pretty rough. I really don't see a great path. But definitely we attack because we're not blocking nothing with that dude. Again, Blue-White Flyers as a best-of-1 deck I think is very solid, especially when you get a Cavalier of Gales, but it's really hard for a deck to strengthen its best-of-1 game against Flyers without significantly weakening it against non-flying decks, so... Well, let's see. If we play... Okay, so how do we win in the case of playing the Gargos here? We need to untap. Let's say we draw another land. Then we have 7 mana. That doesn't do anything. So instead of drawing another land, we have to hope we draw one of our targeted spells. So let's say assume we have a targeted spell on top. We don't have any that cost 1, so we can't go Wolfkin Bond plus our targeted spell draw. We probably have to siphon So what we need is to play Gargos and draw, like the. Don't we have a growth cycle or something? Or don't I thought we had one of our own bites. Well, I think it starts here. And we see what we can draw. Blade Brand? Yeah, Blade Brand would do it. Let's root for a Blade Brand. I mean, you get this at least.
Come sail away with me, lads.
I think we're dead. And all of this, of course, assumes that Oppo has nothing but 4 blanks in hand when when we're actually likely to just get our Gargos pinned down or whatever here and lose on the spot. Why not send the Sailor? What are you worried about? That's kind of odd to me. I'm not sure why the Sailor wouldn't crack in. I guess maybe they're worried that we somehow can produce 16 points of damage coming up. Mythic Championship 4. Big Magic tournament, Pro Magic tournament happening today. Well, that's 2-drop, but it certainly isn't the one that gets us out of this. Just dead. Nothing to do. Yeah, I could siphon the... There was... Maybe I scooped like a turn early, but if you're going to convince me that was an early scoop, you have to then explain how we win on the following turn. Or like how we stabilize from there. I just don't think we had realistic ways to stabilize. I mean, if we're siphoning our own creature to gain 3 and draw a card, like, we're just... we're pretty... pretty bad off. But I could have done that much at least, I suppose. I just don't think there was any win. No, it's a tabletop tournament, Vaporkin. I mean, yeah, anybody who... you follow that through, follow the thing we could have done to not die, and you're left with a board state that cannot be stabilized against the following turn. Yeah, I think that's my least favorite part about Best of One, actually, is facing the Flyers deck. Just feels like, oh, come on. At least let me board in plummets and stuff. Nothing for this yet, but with the double removal and all of our mana will keep. I don't think you're in the minority. I think we all love the presence of paper tournaments. I don't know. If you like tournaments at all, if you like Magic at all, I think you'd be down for paper being successful, continuing to be successful. That's aggressive. Does it make us want to murder it? I kind of want to see if they want to put more on it, actually. And Miscreants are ETB, so we can play this second Swamp. We have Murder ready. Yeah, I like the cheating-free nature and the clear communication of information. It's nice as a viewer to watch digitally, and nice as a commentator. Commentators can zoom in on cards and improve their commentating that way. I'm going to take two. Well, yeah, I'm going to take 2 here. Both because of the possibility of Convolute and the possibility of something we want to kill even more. But nah, now I'm going to go ahead and murder the Miscreant. And we may just siphon the Sentinel. Although with Bronte, I think we just do that instead. I'm fine with putting out the thing with bigger power and racing as a plan A, rather than just using removal. On a pretty mediocre creature right now. Like, I actually want to... we'll attack first, but then I think we probably siphon the weaponsmith. Make sure that doesn't get nuts on us. Although we kind of have a hand that's pretty resilient to the stuff the weaponsmith can get, we could let Oppo kind of go mess around with that and just build up our board with bigger stuff. If we let him untap, it's letting him have a vial or a bow. But yeah, I think I like actually play the Crasher, keep our pressure up, and then see what they want to do here. Because if they want to spend a blue to go get the thing, and then spend 2 to cast the thing, doesn't do much. And they didn't even do it anyway, and we're going to have great attacks, because we're going to now siphon the angel instead. Oh, no, they did do it. It's like they already had one. Still looks good to us. Now we get Siphon and Blade Brand. We'll keep the Blade Brand around. Maybe we'll find our Gargos or Season before we cast it. We could also make it a case for just cycling it now to increase our potential action. But they're down to 1 card. We've got a couple big creatures. Let's just go, go, go. They're digging. So this makes me want to get this done even faster, because they're going to add 2 great cards to their hand. And since they haven't done anything, yeah, we could also Blade Brand at end of turn. It's not too late to Blade Brand for basically the same effect. That's what Usurped by a Fool suggests. I think the 3-4 bow is a viable strategy, but it has its strengths and weaknesses, right? It can all fall apart, but I've seen it do great work when you get the weaponsmith and pull them all out. Sorry, Oppo. We'll go, we'll go. Those are the little like, I just got roped there, and it cost me like an hourglass progress, so that's my fault. I gotta be better about that. I gotta get my hourglasses for later in these games. Season. We are impatient by 1 turn. Now it looks like they get to trade for one of their creatures and the vial for one of ours, but then we can pulse it back, so that's cool. I think I'd have to see the whole deck press, but maybe not crazy. Interesting. They could have done the vial block to kill the Crasher, but they just elected not to. Bleh. Just keep swinging. Here we're expecting to trade something off. All right. It's not the worst. Brontodon probably... Oh, they're just going to take Bronte? All right. Well, let's redrop the Crasher. Gravedigger. Too much value to bin it, I think. Keep that up top. We're just going to cycle these cards with these until we win. Yeah, but our creatures, if our creatures don't die, we win. And if they do, we get them back and win. That was my feeling, Rocky. That I'm not leaving a 2-for-1 in the bin. Heck, we could... Yeah, I don't know. Oppo's refusing to trade with my creatures, too. That's been interesting. Hey, Bruce. Hi, Bruce. And we get to send in the Sentinel here, even though it's kind of a chump attack. It helps make blocking difficult on the other two. So now they're kind of priced into killing the Thicket Crasher at end of turn. And we get to go Gravedigger, Sentinel, replay Sentinel. Now the Thicket Crasher is going to die here. But it's okay, we get that back with the Pulse. And we could just wait. See, we'll keep the Bond. And oh, they're done. Yeah, I was like, okay, I think we should just Sentinel and then we'll bond and get there. I could wait and pulse, but they were at 3. I think the correct play was just to play out 2 more creatures and go, go, go. Gotta run to the DMV, have fun. That reminds me, I signed my kids up for driving lessons, so I'm gonna teach my kids to drive next month. Fun times. Well, somebody else is going to teach them, but I'm sure I will be teaching them as well. Yeah, multiple kids at once. My daughter is 18 and never learned. My son is 16 and is interested, but hasn't really pressed the issue. So we're going to teach them both at once. We're in a different place in society now with at least kids in big cities and driving cars. Just as a quick aside here, kind of interesting to me how different my children's generation is. When I was 16, I couldn't wait to get my driver's license because it was my tool for driving away from where my parents were and going to where my friends were. Nothing was more important to me at 16 than driving away from my parents toward my friends. Now, half of my children's friends are in their devices or computers, and when they want to drive away from their parents to their friends, they go into their room and they shut their door. And Seattle has, well, don't get me started on Seattle public transportation. It's not the best in the nation by any stretch, but it's good big city public transportation. So my kids have learned to bus. Another thing the city of Seattle has done, which I think is great, the city of Seattle has given every public school student in the city a free public transportation pass. They can use any public transportation at no cost. And that's the kind of thing, if you believe in bootstraps and you believe that in America everybody should be able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, you got to give everybody boots and everybody bootstraps. And a bus pass for all public school kids is a great way to do that. And yeah, it makes a huge difference that we're in a big city, but that's why they haven't driven. Yeah, no cost, Colin. I know what you mean. Nothing is free. but it's a great use of taxpayer dollars to even the playing field for our students, wouldn't you say? As I'm a pretty political animal, but I do try to find the places where policy goals can be agreed upon, and I feel like it's pretty bipartisan that we want among Americans that we want our kids to be smart and well educated. So, all right, enough of that. Let's go back to playing.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads.
Sir Temmie's like, I'm not here for talking about teenagers driving. Let's play some Magic. All right, we're playing some Magic. Fine. Double Blade Brand and Gargle. Like, this is weird. We're going to keep it. I can't not keep this. Maybe is it a mistake to keep this? It doesn't really do much yet. And we can't even cycle these if we want to, but I am so enamored by the idea of eventually Blade Branding with Gargos. But maybe it's a pipe dream to think that we're going to be able to just naturally get to 6 mana with both of our Blade Brands around, because we need everything. We need lands and spells. But I'm too greedy. I'm going to keep it. And we may just have to Blade Brand early. Yeah. Oh, good. We can cycle on theirs. I kind of forgot about that. But I'm not going to bother until we see pressure that we're worried about. I'm certainly not worried about that. Got all of our late game recovery action. Yeah, Oppo's given us lots of time here. That's nice. We are nothing but combos. We are all combos and combo card and nothing else. Yeah, we need a forest. We need a lot of forest, don't we? Yeah, we're kind of on help us out here. Probably have to cycle a Blade Brand on this turn. Yeah, I'm going to cycle one. Yep, I'm sure. Thanks for checking. All right, we got to play at least. Wrong kind of land, but we'll play it. You let me know when you have a design for that, James. You can only return 1 land to your hand per turn. Obviously a problem. Maybe we'll find an answer. Okay, forest is what we were asking for. Again, we're short on what we need for our buddy here. But we can stay back. We're so close to going off. Speaking of going off. The value. We can overcome. Let's do this. If we get a forest off the top, I think we're still okay. We need it like nowish. But four off the top, forest off the top, and we have solid hope here. Yeah, Tracker is doing great work here, preventing tons of damage all by itself. I could cycle. Maybe it's so important to find a forest that we go ahead and cycle, knowing that Growth Cycle will still give us one of these activations. What do you think? Is it? I think it's maybe so important to get a forest that we do it now. What would Ben Stark do? I don't know. We're at 13. I'm going to be greedy. Punished. Yeah, maybe we just have to play Gravedigger. It's pretty bad, though. All right. Gotta play. I'm going to play a no value. Yeah, we have Tracker ability, and they haven't shown the ability to attack through this yet. I just feel like we're going to get tagged with Reef stuff again. I mean, if they go with another Scorcher, we're just kind of done for, but oh, whatever. It's an uncommon. There's no. They might only have the one. Tracker cannot get lands, but I'm gonna say no attacks. We also have Pulse. We are effectively at 19, not 13. Oh, did I not Tracker last turn? That was a punt. Did I, or did we just play it? I can't remember now. If we had 6 mana and I didn't Tracker, that's just a flat mistake. But I can't even remember now. Oops. Yeah, that's a significant punt. We'd love to find more help. Now we've got to save it, because we can't handle this attack. Nah, it's never chat's fault. It's on me to get her done. My degree of difficulty might be a little higher than someone not streaming, but it's still on me to get it done. Yeah, I was thinking about Blade Brand, decided not to, and then didn't do the thing I could do instead. Which certainly would have supported the no Blade Brand move if we were like, yeah, but you have an alternative. Sure. We will... Oop, no. Let's go past the blockers. I don't see anything that could get us. I'm gonna take out the Scorcher in case of portal shenanigans or whatever. All right, come on. Okay. We even have the Blade Brand at the ready because of the way it shook out. And probably shouldn't even let them untap with the Reef, although we may need to take out the Smuggler as the more important concern. Smuggler creates unblockable damage that's going to get us. Again, we are at a virtual +6 because of the Pulse. But really, yeah, do we want to get the Reef done or the Smuggler done? Maybe we get the Reef here and count on finding a way to get the Smuggler after. I think we just lose to the inevitability of elemental combos if we don't. And this is a enter the battlefield trigger, so we could conceivably wait on the Blade Brand. I think in the end we're going to have to kill both. We're going to have to be lucky enough to kill both. and this is going to give them the go wides to increase the amount of damage they're getting through. They're only getting through 1 point of damage per turn on this board currently. So I am going to indeed fight the Reef. Yeah, we could do it in response, but then we let them have mana up, and they're blue. I'm not interested in getting our stabilization play convoluted, because we're trying to squeeze some kind of extra value out of it. There's no brawler at all. It's true. It would still have the fight. I just don't like waiting. I just don't like letting blue mana untap when I do something. There's the brawler that we're worried about. I still like our line. We did not know they had a brawler in hand, and note that they went elemental, elemental. So if we hadn't killed the Reef, they would have drawn 2 off of that. But we're in a bit of a bind now. Really need something to trigger Gargos again, or do we even get any spiders? I think we got no flyer blocking. Like, we're just going to lose to lack of flyer support in this deck, I think. Like, we've got some powerful stuff we're doing, but overall it's just like... we just kind of wait to die to stuff in the air. Yeah, Howling Giant's like the one thing we've got. Would not mind finding it. Disfigure. We don't have anything to get with Pulse right now. If we do this, if we cast it, we're actually giving them one of these back. So we don't want to do that. We're going to stay back. Are we just dead? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, unfortunately, we're just dead. I guess we have to pulse not to die. Let's see. So let's go no attacks. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can tracker plus 6. Oh, yeah, I should attack with Gargos. I forgot Vigilance. That's another punt if you want to. It's a minor one. I don't think it matters in this game. But... it's definitely should have. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the difference maker, but it was a mistake for sure. Haven't played Gargos in a while, forgot the Vig. So now I think we have to go Gravedigger, and then, God, we have to pulse. We really have to pulse something back? Ugh. Well, let's do this to add to the board. And then, yeah, rather than search with the tracker, I just like playing the digger. Yeah, it's 8. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 7 or 8. The point is we have to pulse to survive. But they're probably only going to send the brawler here. So... oh, put it on your brawler. Put it on your brawler. Oh no, put it on. Okay, fine. All right. Now we're pretty close to dead. Yeah. This deck felt better than this, but we are pretty weak to flyers. But still. I guess you get a Scorcher. Yikes. At least they got lazy and we get to do some eating. don't think it's going to save us, but we get to do that. All right, into the losers bracket with us. Into the double loser bracket with us. No, didn't set par. All right. A couple of our junkers, but at least they're on curve junkers. Ah, skeleton, you're late. Hey, look, everybody, it's another Elementals deck. Haha, I'm going to remember the vigilance on my Sentinel. No punts there. I don't know, Capo. That's pretty easy to say when they drop a brawler right after. They were on... We had 8 turns to find an answer to the smuggler. And our deck is full of answers to the smuggler. I guess we're racing, and we get Disfigure Skeleton here. Yeah, I think it's very easy to say, to get a little bit results-oriented. Not to say you are necessarily being results-oriented, Capo. You may just legit think statistically it was correct. But when they drop a brawler, suddenly it seems like the dumbest thing ever. But the card advantage off the reef was insane. So yeah, only one black. That's why I said we have skeleton or disfigure. So we're going to leave disfigure up. I can open Deckmaster, but it's unlikely to be working. It wasn't working yesterday. That's okay. I'll decide where to use this disfigure at end of turn. They can have the 2 here. Tapping both their creatures to do so. That's not something we can kill with any of the removal in our hand, unfortunately. Makes me want to leave it and see if we can get him with a block here. They're probably too smart for this, but we're going to try. Or maybe not. All right, we'll take it. Thank you. I would never put my brawler at risk when I have a smuggler and a spitter out. It's been a little rough on us this go round. Man. I don't know, they're under pressure, but the pressure they're about to put back with a brawler on that board was pretty big, especially with Cat in hand, presumably. Well, let's see. If we attack with both and they block Spider on Sentinel, then we have to Blade Brand, and we have a dead Sentinel, a tapped Vampire, and a dead Spider, and they have 5 power of attack back the other direction. We also have the backup plan of playing Skeleton or Fang instead. I think I'm going to... We're definitely attacking with the Sentinel. I'm just trying to figure out if we leave the Barony back to threaten. Yeah, that's what... You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're attacking with the Barony Vampire or not here. I think yes. I think we're going to do it. Because maybe we get a Swamp and we can cast the Sorcerer anyway. And they're clearly worried about their life total, so we figured we'd get a block like this. Alright, no land, but we did get a gift, so that will help mitigate the now 3 damage that we're going to take here. And if we draw a land, we can go gifts into Sorcerer, which I think I like better than anything else, because then we are very close to Gargos. It's a lot of smugglers to deal with here. Variance. Variance is a bitch. I mean... frustrating. Super frustrating. I'll do it here. Still lets us get Gargos out if we do find the mana. This is bad, though. You gotta untap and siphon one of the smugglers or the courser. Just dumb. Alright, we get skeleton and 1 dead thing. Like, probably just have to take out the courser here. And chump elsewhere and survive. Yeah, you can smuggle the Scorcher, but that takes up 2. So right now they can only get 2. We can survive 2. To try and come back from this somehow. But we got to block. Can't just take an extra 2 here. It's rough. Been waiting forever to run with Gargos again, and we just fell flat on our face here. Ouch. Really annoying. Digger Skeleton buys us a turn or whatever, but we're just dead. Crepe Day at Denny's does not, in fact, make me feel better. Yeah, Raptor cites my mantra for finding peace with losing, that if the worst thing that happens to us today is that a magic deck we had didn't perform as well as we hoped, we're leading a pretty good life. And it does help me eliminate the tilt more quickly, but certainly processing a little bit of tilt right here. Not flipping any tables, but that was a really annoying event, frankly. But that's what we signed up for. We play Magic. So on to the next one, I guess. And YouTubers, we'll see you there. Yeah, those lunch boxes. I don't have any major thoughts on the bot readjustment yet. Has anybody noticed anything? Is anybody like, like, I guess what I've noticed is that Audacious Thieves aren't going 7th. I think Audacious Thief has risen up in bot pick order. Haven't seen any absurdly late pattern matchers. Maybe pattern matcher is going up in the bot orders. I'm trying to think of cards that we were always shocked to see. I mean, it seems like the elementals are going a little earlier. Certainly we've seen a lot of white hanging out at the end of packs, so the bots are pretty off white now, which is certainly a correction that brings it closer to paper when white's wide open and nobody really wants to jump in there. But again, maybe we can use that to our advantage. I think blue-white flyers is actually a pretty good place to be in best of one. Fewer frost lynxes late. Yeah, that's true as well. All right. All right, everybody. Oops.
Come sail away with me, lads.
Forgot to turn off the Spectral Sailor meme, so maybe that's a harbinger. We're going to get a Spectral Sailor in this draft. A little pre-meme, right? Anyway, let me try that again. I'm going to go